Have you got a bit of savings in your bank account? Watch this video from start to finish and you might be able to get a solution. Now, what we're talking about here, we're talking about high yield savings accounts. Now, what is a high yield saving account? A high yield savings account is a type of account that allows you to save your money but pay you higher than normal returns in terms of interest. And these are particularly good for people who have money that they don't want sitting around, but they still want to be earning some interest on. Or perhaps say you have your HYSA, your different HYSAs fully maxed out. So you might have your cash HYSA fully maxed out. You might have your stocks and shares HYSA because you only get £20,000 to invest in your HYSA during a financial year in the UK. So say for example you've maxed that out and you've still got a bit of money left, that might be a good place to put it. You might have your backup money, your emergency fund. So rather than sitting around doing nothing, you can put your money to work. So even though it's not technically investing, it's still a very powerful tool in the overall strategy. So you want to make sure that every penny you have is earning money for you. Otherwise, our little friend inflation will be eating away from your money. Now, one of the most powerful things about using high yield accounts is that FCA, so that's the regulatory body in the UK, also guarantee your money, offer you protection up to £85,000, which means that if the bank or the institution that you're using goes out of business, say they go bust, they'll actually cover you up to £85,000. That's per bank. Okay, so it means that if you have £85,000 in one bank and then £85,000 in another bank and so on, it'll cover each one. So it might be an idea not to put more than that in one bank account. Obviously, this is not financial advice. This is just based on the way things are currently working. Now, not all high yield savings accounts are born equally. There are different styles and different structures. There are three main types. So you'll have the instant access one. So these are the types that allow you to take your money in and out whenever you like. And then you'll have the notice ones. So you'll have to give maybe 30 days or 90 days notice before you can get your money. And the third one would be the fixed savings accounts. So it might be 1 year fixed or 5 year fixed. So you need to make sure you match your needs to the relevant products. So if you're someone who wants to be able to gain access to that money quickly, for example, for an emergency fund, no point going for a 30-day notice one because that's absolutely no good for you. That's the whole point of an emergency. Or even worse, you don't want to get that kind of money locked up for 2 to 3 years, for example. Alternatively, or conversely, if you have a large sum of money, say you've got £85,000 and you know you're not going to need it for anything for the next 2-3 years, then maybe fixed one will be good for you. Obviously, the different options will also dictate the amount of interest you get. So generally speaking, the longer you're prepared to leave the money in and the more you're willing to restrict access to that money, the higher the interest will get. So let's look at some examples and we can actually see how to find some of them and different things to look for. So with this one, we're just going to go on my laptop. I'm going to share my screen. All I've done there is just to type in best high yield savings account UK. I mean, if you're in the US, you can type in US. If you're in Canada, if you're in Brazil, doesn't matter, you can do the same. But the principle is the same because we have all these pieces of information on the internet, which is actually very powerful. Now, with this, I've gone through a number of sites. So the first one I picked was Money Supermarket, which is a very popular site here in the UK. And then I've also looked at money.co.uk. And then you have Money Saving Expert. So all I've done is just a quick Google search, and each one will give you different options so you can actually compare them. So you've got the likes of Chase here. This one is offering 4.5% variable. So the variable means that it can go up or down depending on the interest rates. So if the Bank of England decided to raise interest rates, then that could go up If they decided to drop it, then it could go down. So you see where it says notice period, that says none. That means that it's not a fixed one. And then if you look, it tells you the minimum amount. So with this one, you need to put minimum of £1 in, and you can put up to £3 million in. If you scroll a little bit further down, you can see £1 there. If you look at this one, for example, Sidekick, that's a minimum of £10,000. So if you only have £1, that's not going to work for you, I'm afraid. If you look on here, it tells you the easy access, the fixed rate, and then it talks about HYSA. And so with this one, it just gives you a little bit more information about the different advantages and disadvantages. If you look on another one, so obviously these are just popular sites I've picked, so you can do your own research and pick different sites to look at and do your own comparison. So this one's got Chase again, and then you got Tesco Bank here. So this one's 4.2%. You got Post Office. So there's tons and tons of options there for you. So it's down to you to marry up your strategy, marry up the amount of time you're willing to leave the money in. Try get as high interest as you can, and also make sure you got this FSCS protection, because you don't want a situation where you leave your money with somebody and then the company goes bust, the institution goes bust, and then you don't have access to your money. So you got this instant access, easy access. Make sure all those kind of things make sense to you. Let's look at what Money Saving Experts has for us. So they've got, so I've just gone on to the easy access one. So there's notice ones and then there's fixed terms. So on the easy access one, it just gives you a few examples here as well. So it just tells you a little bit about why you would do that, choosing all the things to consider. Okay, and then it then gives you some examples. So with this one, you've got West Brom Bank Building Society offering 4.55. So that rate does drop to 1.65 after 3 withdrawals. So even though it's, it gives you that nice 4.55 to start with, because it's a limited withdrawal, so it's limited access. Once you exceed 3, that drops. So make sure you pay attention to things like that. Now, with this, the interest is paid monthly or annually. Now, there's an advantage in going for something that pays monthly rather than annually, because that interest comes in regularly and it means that it can compound for you, especially if you're going to leave the money sitting there. So if you're getting just the one payment after the 12 months, for example, it's very different from when you have money dropping in every month, and then that money then adds more interest, and then more interest is added on, and so on. So if you can get one that's paid monthly, that would be a better option for most people. Obviously, this is not financial advice. It's up to you to pick whatever works best for you. So as you can see, there are so many different options. There are so many different things to look out for. Just do your own research. So you got an interesting one here. So Santander Edge. This is one that I'm actually using at the moment. So this has a proportion of my emergency funds. So you got 6% there. All you have to do with this is to open up a current account with them, and then you then open up the savings account that goes with that. This is maxed out at £4,000, and you can only open online. So with this one, the interest is paid monthly, which is what I went for, and it's for the reason I explained. Now, I'm not recommending them. I'm not being paid. This is not sponsored by anyone. It's just disclosing what I'm currently using. So the sort of thing you need to bear in mind as well is that with cash HYSAs or anything HYSA, they're completely tax-free. With high yield savings accounts, once you hit your threshold, then your interests are taxable. So that's something you need to bear in mind. So the threshold is £1,000 for the normal income rate. For higher tax brackets, then that's a different amount. But once you earn more than £1,000 in interest, then you need to consider the tax implications as well. So as a quick wrap up, even though it's not technically investing, using a high yield savings account substantially removes the risk, because you're not exposing your money to the market where there are ups and downs. There's no volatility. Your money is secured up to £85,000 in case the institution that you're using to save the money goes out of business, it means that you're able to park some money in there and earn that interest with peace of mind. Bear in mind that you're not taking full advantage of potential upsides of the market, but that's perfectly fine. It's good for things like long-term savings, emergency funds, or if you just have money laying around that you don't want to be idle, you can use this high yield savings account. So let me know, which savings accounts have you come across? What's the best one out there? What's the best one for you? What's your strategy? Are you using other products, maybe premium bonds? How does that compare with this? Are you using money market for your short term and then this for long term? Leave your comments below. Let's know what you're doing. Make sure you share, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Check out Pod Edit. That's the company that I use to edit and to do my post-production. If you like what you're seeing, check them out, reach out to them. They're on Instagram, they're on TikTok. They would love to hear from you. If you have any questions, leave them below. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. Make sure you get this one out. And join me next time. Thanks for watching. It's a Roadman Investor.